Happy Juneteenth, you say. Was it happy? This is May's Design Corner coming to you with my celebratory of Juneteenth. Let me give you a little history of Juneteenth. I'm quite sure everyone knows about the history of Juneteenth. But did you know that when they left the slavers' home, the plantations, the big house, that they had nowhere to go? There was nothing set aside for them to be in freedom. They tried to make it to Louisiana where there was a place for them to be in freedom. Read your history and find out about Juneteenth. But some of them did not make it there because they were hunted down to come back to their former lifestyle. And then when some of them did make it out, praise God, they were put in a different kind of slavery, and that was called sharecropping. Now, as you know, sharecropping is when you share the land, you grow crops, and you share the crops with whomever gave you the land. And they didn't give you the land. It was so that you could work the land for them, and you still gave them off the land. They gave you maybe 50 cents a year or $1 a year. I have read some instances where they didn't get anything because they had to go back and forth to the little store in order to get things for to keep their family all year round. So at the end of the year, they still owed money, so they could not leave the land that they were so-called sharecropping on. Juneteenth, y'all, know what you are celebrating. Know exactly what you're celebrating. Your people shed blood, tears, and lives to make you where you are today. You should be one of the happiest persons in the world because you had people fighting for you for this day that you are living now. So when you celebrate Juneteenth, remember our ancestors lost everything that we may live the life that we're living now. Now, the Emancipation Proclamation was by Abraham Lincoln. But in 1865, our brothers and sisters on the coast of Texas were still in slavery. And as I read on, I found out that they knew that our brothers and sisters were free, but they had crops that they wanted to get out, and they did not tell them that. In fact, the first messenger was killed. The second messengers was a group of Union soldiers that rode into Galveston to let them know they was free. But once they got free, look at this, folks. Our people had nowhere to go, nothing to do. They were just out there with nothing. Thank goodness for their skills from the homeland and their skills that they had on the master's farm. Without those skills, they would not have made it. That's why it's so important, young people. Get an education. Learn something besides bang, bang. Guns will not teach you anything, but it will land you back into slavery. This is May's Design Corner saying, don't forget to pray for someone else besides yourself, and always know that God is alive and well, and that your ancestors are depending on you to keep the story going in a positive way. Thank you for looking at my video. Thank you so very much for going and researching Juneteenth and find out what your ancestors were doing and had to do. Now, I'm going to briefly tell you what each thing on my table is representing. This cake represents the land, which is the brown part, the blood that was shed, and the white for the victory that they had now, because we are definitely living in victorious times compared to our ancestors. And the yellow, the brightness is, I don't care how bad they were treated, they still had joy. Lord have mercy, Jesus. They still had joy. And red here is indicates of the blood that they shed for us this day, that we may have some semblance of freedom. Because yet still, people, we don't have that 40 acres and a mule yet. And then here is the beautiful red that I put here. I put this red here because, oh my, celebration. We went from the blood to the celebration. Come on, people. Let's celebrate Juneteenth by finding out the truth, reading. This again is May's Design Corner saying thank you for looking. Happy Juneteenth, and history is a good thing. Check it out. Don't forget to pray for someone else besides yourself. And always know that God, this is God's world. And there's nothing you and I can do about it. But live in it and thank God that that we can partake of the goodness of our ancestors and of God. May's Design Corner saying, do and happy Juneteenth to you.